If you're trying to step into your higher self, the version of you that does certain things, that shows up differently, that talks, walks, and moves in a certain type of way, we're all trying to evolve into that version. But I've now figured out that the answer to that is pretty simple. All it takes is to keep the promises that we make to ourselves. Every day we make promises like, I'm going to start working out today. I'm going to start that project. I'm going to start eating better. We make these promises but not show up. But all it takes is to make these promises and to keep them. And I know when I say it like that, it sounds pretty simple. And sometimes we're trying to do these things, our brain gets in the way. And I just figured out that the only way to start doing the things that you say you're gonna do is by hijacking your brain. Our brain's default mode is to go into comfort, avoidance, procrastination, excuses, but we're gonna have to get in there and hijack it to go into action and growth. And that's exactly what I'm going to be talking about in this video. I'm going to be sharing 6 things that you can start doing right now. Not tomorrow, not later today, but right now as we speak, you can start doing these things to hijack your brain and to step into your higher self. Number 1 is to gamify your life. If you want your brain to want to do something, then you have to make it interesting and fun. When you make a boring task or something that you have to do into a challenge, your brain will actually want to do it. How you can do this is by creating mini challenges for yourself. And this is how I do it. I make myself like 7-day challenge, 20-day challenge, 30-day challenge. And recently I made a challenge for myself. I'm on this challenge right now and I'm on the 15th day. And this is a 20-day challenge. And I named it the Unbreakable 20. Basically, the whole point of the challenge is to act like the version that I want to step into. So what are her habits? How does she spend a day in her life? How does she carry herself? How does she talk? How does she walk? I also wrote it down on paper, so just to make it more interesting. So one of the rules of this challenge is that if I skip one day, if one day I don't do the things on the list, I have to start all over again. That means I have to start from day 1. And that's what made it more challenging for me. So in the list, I had to wake up at a certain hour and I had to sleep at a certain hour. So it's like a streak system, which actually makes my brain want to do it because like, I can't lose this streak. I have to keep up with this streak. If it says like I have to sleep at a certain hour, I'm doing everything that I can do to sleep on time and wake up on time. And I did lose my streak quite a few times. But now that I look back to when I had created this challenge, which was probably like more than a month ago, when I look at how I was back then and when I look at myself now, one thing I can say is that because of this challenge, I've been able to fix my sleep schedule. Sleeping at a certain hour and waking up at the same time, it was very hard for me to do. But now every single morning, my brain is automatically up by 6:30. You should definitely try it out. I can promise you that it's gonna work. All you gotta do is just think of a habit that you want to implement right now and start small. You don't have to start at 20 days. You can just start at 7 days, just for a week. You're gonna make this interesting and put it down on paper, or you're gonna take ChatGPT's help here. Tell ChatGPT that you have this certain thing that you want to do and you're gonna do it for 7 days and I wanna create a challenge. So make it interesting, give me a checklist, and trust me, it's gonna work. And why do you think Duolingo actually works? Because their interface is like a game. We're learning a language like it's a game. And there's also the streak system, which makes us want to do it. I actually have like a 200 something, let me see. I actually have a 210-day streak on Duolingo because once I start with the streak game, I am not quitting. My brain will not let me quit. I just have to keep going. That's how our brain works. Our brain loves this kind of stuff. I'm going to tell you how you can start with this. You have to pick a time frame, okay? 7 days, 15 days, 20 days, 30 days. Like start small so that it's easier. Another one is to have an accountability partner. My accountability partner for this challenge is my sister. So we do it together every single night before we go to bed. We update each other. So this is one way that you can actually start tricking your brain into doing the things that you have to do. The second thing is to create a sense of urgency. This is something that I heard from Brian Tracy. He is a motivational speaker and an author. And this is a video of his that I saw. And he says something like this. To create sense of urgency, you gotta keep telling yourself, do it now, do it now, do it now. Like that voice in your head. Let me explain it to you. So if something comes up into your mind, okay, you have some work to do right now. Maybe it can be finishing up your assignment or reading a book or something that you said you're gonna do. The second that thought comes into your mind, keep saying, do it now, do it now, do it now. Keep saying that. Okay, that creates a sense of urgency. Sometimes I find myself procrastinating on some stuff. The moment that thought pops up into my head, I'm like, do it now, do it now, do it now. And then I just suddenly get up out of my bed and get to work. And the reason for why this works is because you shouldn't let your brain think for a second. If you give your brain 2 seconds to think about it, your brain is going to come up with a reason for why you should not do it. So right now, if there's something that you want to do, keep saying that to yourself. You can send this video to someone or save it to watch later so you can always come back to it. But if there's something that you're putting off right now, go and do it now. The third thing is to ask, how would the higher version of me act today? Ask yourself this question throughout the day. The thing is that we know the habits and the things that our higher self does, but we forget it. Every time I'm doing something, I ask myself, how would the higher version of me act right now? What would she do right now? That's something that I ask myself throughout the day. And yes, we can forget it sometimes, which is why you have to remind yourself. And how do you do it? One way to do it is by using sticky notes. I have one on my bathroom door here right now. It says, how would the higher version of me act today? And every single morning I get up, that's the first thing that I'm reading. So write it down somewhere that you can see every single day at the starting of your day. The fourth thing is to let yourself be bored. When we say we're procrastinating on our work, what we're actually doing is we're keeping ourselves busy with something like scrolling on TikTok, Reels, watching something, or cleaning, organizing your desk, or something like that. We're addicted to this mental stimulation where our brain is constantly busy doing something. We're all victims of this. The moment there's a gap, we're reaching for our phone or doing something. But boredom is your brain's natural motivation system. When you literally have nothing else to do, your mind will automatically start asking what actually needs to get done. So I want you to give yourself this challenge, 10 minutes boredom challenge. So if there's something that you want to get done, set a timer for 10 minutes, do nothing. No phone, no book, no music, no cleaning, nothing. If you can sit there and let your mind wander for 10 minutes, I can tell you that before the timer gets to 10 minutes, you're going to find yourself getting up and doing the thing that you've been procrastinating on. So to do the thing that we want to do, we just got to let ourselves be bored. The fifth thing is to reinvent yourself right now. When we think about reinventing ourselves, we think about, I need to have a plan. I need to be prepared. I need to know exactly how this is going to go. But who says that? You can literally reinvent yourself right now. What I mean when I say this is right now you can start thinking, this is my new identity. I'm a new person this second. And I know when you tell yourself you're going to do something, the first thing you're probably going to think is that, oh, but I've tried doing this before. And I know I'm not going to stick to it. I've given up before, so I'm going to give up this time as well. But you don't have to let what you've done in the past dictate what you do now. And when you think and when you tell yourself and when you believe that right now, this second, you are a new identity, you're a new person, then whatever that happened in the past does not matter. Okay, I have done that in the past. Okay, I've told myself that I will do something and I have not done it. I've given up. Okay, but that's the past identity. That's not this new identity that I am today. The new identity today, she does things differently. This is how I like to do it. Every single time I have this thought that I have to reinvent myself, I put some ice in the glass and I pour some water. I have this ice water. And before I drink it, I tell myself, after I drink this water, I am shifting into my new identity. I'm going to be a new person. And then I set that intention and drink it. And every time I've done this, and the actions that follow right after I do this are different. I found it very interesting and I wanted to see if there's something actually behind it. What I found was that there is science behind it. There's something called embodied cognition. So basically our body and our mind work together. So our physical experience, our movements and sensations actually influence the way we think, feel, and make decisions. So for example, studies have literally shown that if you just sit up straight, that makes you actually feel more confident. So this tells us that when you do something in your physical environment, that literally changes the way we think and feel. So if you can give your body some sensation, it will signal the brain something and it will start acting differently. So you can maybe do the same thing that I do. You can drink ice cold water. And yes, I do go back to my old habits or my old patterns, but I tell myself that I can reinvent myself any second of the day. You can just say like right now you want to become a different person and you're going to act like her. So the sixth thing is to reduce the friction. You know your higher self has certain habits, right? And you know what those habits are. The only way you can make your brain want to do it is by making it easy. What I mean is to reduce the friction between you and the action. What I mean is if you have an intention to work out in the morning, then you have to reduce the friction by setting up your gym clothes the night before. You literally have it laid down on your chair or somewhere that you can see. So you literally have to just wear it and go to the gym. So if you have an intention to read every single day, you have to keep that book in a place where you can see it. So for me, I read before I go to bed every single night. So I have my Kindle placed right here on the side of the bed where I sleep. I always have it there so that every single night when I'm about to go to bed, I have to physically pick up the Kindle and lay down, right? So that means it's already in my hand. Now I just have to turn it on and read. So that's what I mean by reducing the friction between you and the action. So everything that I shared in this video are things that you can start doing right now. And if you're still here at the end of this video, I want to tell you that I really love having you here, and I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week in the next video. Until then, bye bye.